How's it going, everybody? It is Maddie here today, bringing you a super exciting Star Wars Battlefront news update. Today we have some Endor concept art that just came from IGN. It was released through their IGN First program, which is basically this system that allows them to get early access to press assets before GameSpot or Kotaku. So it's a really good system, and right now we got some concept art, so I'm going to analyze that, break it down for you guys, and then after that we have some extra news coming from DICE themselves. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. So first thing we see is on the bottom left corner, we have a pair of rebel troopers, one being a woman, another being a man. The man is holding a scoped rifle, so I'm guessing there's going to be some type of sniper rifle in the game, so that'll be returning hopefully, as well as the woman who's holding a standard blaster rifle. Once again, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but it's worth mentioning just in case. But they seem to be flanking a pair of stormtroopers. One thing I want to mention though is the scale of this tree and how it can be used for stealth. I wonder if that's actually going to be incorporated into gameplay, because I think that would bring the maps to life and kind of embrace the Star Wars universe even more. But anyways, one rebel trooper, or a stormtrooper I mean rather, is holding a rifle, while the other one seems to be throwing what looks like a thermal detonator. So that's very exciting. But as you can see in the background, I don't know if that's a giant explosion or if Endor is actually on fire. But if it's actually on fire, I feel like that would bring a dynamic aspect to the maps themselves. One thing I also want to mention is that, as we can see right here smack dab in the middle, this tree seems to be starting to break, and I think that's awesome that this type of dynamic destruction will be returning to Battlefront, which we all expected personally, but I feel that just because it's Star Wars, it's like that extra oomph to it, but I don't know. That's just me personally. Anyways, in the background, you can also see the Ewok villages. A lot of people really want the Ewoks to return because they were in I think it was one of the PSP Star Wars Battlefront games, but anyways, a lot of people want them to come back, and it seems like they will since the villages are back there. But anyways, it also indicates some verticality in these maps where there's going to be battles on the ground, there might be battles going on above everyone, so it could be really, really cool. Also, as we see on the ground, there's an ATST that's completely destroyed, so I wonder if it's just going to always remain there when these ATSTs are destroyed, or if they'll eventually kind of disappear like they did in previous Battlefield games. And as we all see right there, the ATST shooting is clearly confirmed based off the fact that this was recently shown in the E3 trailer of 2014. Moving on from the concept art to the small bit of information that DICE decided to give us, it's very exciting because they're talking about maps and modes and how certain maps and modes will tailor to their own specific categories. I felt it was worth mentioning. So I'm going to read a few quotes from Fegreus from DICE, and we'll interpret it from there. So he says, "The scale of our maps and modes offer a great variety. Hoth, where the Rebel Alliance fought off invading AT-ATs in snowy plains, will differ in size than the dense woodland of Endor. We have actually made a decision to specifically tailor certain maps to certain game modes." He continues on and says, "And what we get from that is not only incredibly varied scales, but the gameplay will allow some players to live out some of their most memorable Star Wars battle fantasies." So what I really like about this is that it kind of reminds me of Battlefront 2, where, for example, the Heroes and Villains mode was only available on Mos Eisley, so they're kind of taking that route again, and that can lead to some very varied gameplay, which makes me super excited. But there's really not much to take from it. It's just nice to know that we're going to have a lot of variety, and certain game modes will only be accessible through certain maps, which is something DICE has done in the past. So it seems that they're kind of mixing the best of both worlds in this case, and let's hear your thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. Also, be sure to check out my buddy Connor along with his Star Wars Death Troopers page. He's an awesome guy. Please, just by all means, check him out. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.